You felt this. When you open one too many Chrome tabs, your laptop fan screams like it's dying, and then everything freezes. The cursor stops moving, and sometimes the entire system crashes. Your computer basically gives up on life. But why? What is actually happening inside your machine in that exact moment? Because it's not just slow. Your computer is doing something desperate, something most people have no idea about, just to keep you going. And once you understand it, you'll never look at your RAM the same way again. Before we get to the chaos, let's make sure we're on the same page, because most explanations of RAM are too confusing. Think of your computer like an office worker. Your hard drive? That's the filing cabinet. Massive storage, holds everything, but you have to physically get up and walk to it every time. Slow. RAM is your desk. It's small, but everything you're working on right now sits right there. Instant access. No walking needed. Your browser, your game, your music, all living on that desk. Now here's the thing. Your desk has a size limit. 8 GB of RAM? That's a pretty average sized desk. 16 GB? Bigger desk? More room. 4 GB? You're basically working on a dinner tray. So what happens when your desk is completely full and your boss throws 10 more folders at you? You start doing something clever and a little desperate. And that is exactly what your computer does too. RAM stands for Random Access Memory. It is the computer's short-term working memory. Every app you open, every browser tab, every background process, and even parts of the operating system are first loaded into RAM while running. When RAM starts filling up, the operating system begins managing memory more aggressively. It constantly tracks which applications are active, which data is being used frequently, and which memory can be moved or removed. At first, the system may clear cache data or inactive memory. Here's where it gets interesting. When your RAM completely fills up, your operating system, Windows, macOS, Linux, doesn't just crash immediately. It has a backup plan. It takes some of the stuff on your RAM, the stuff you haven't used in a few seconds, and quietly moves it to your hard drive or SSD. This fake RAM space is called the swap file on Windows or swap space on Linux and Mac. Your computer basically says, you haven't touched Spotify in 30 seconds? You don't need it on the desk right now. I'm putting it on the floor. When you need it again, I'll grab it. This is called virtual memory. Virtual memory uses part of your storage device, usually the SSD or HD, and that's why your computer doesn't instantly die when you open too much stuff. But, and this is a massive but, there's a cost, a terrible, painful cost. RAM is extremely fast, which allows the CPU to access data quickly. RAM can read and write data at speeds of 50 to 80 gigabytes per second. Your hard drive? Maybe 100 to 500 megabytes per second. That's 100 to 400 times slower. So when your computer starts swapping, it's like your office worker suddenly has to run to the basement filing cabinet for every single piece of paper. Every single one. This constant memory transfer is called thrashing. That's why everything freezes. That's the lag. That's the spinning wheel of death. Your computer is literally sprinting back and forth between RAM and storage, desperately trying to keep up with you. So virtual memory saves you, most of the time. But what if you keep going? What if you keep opening stuff until even the swap file is completely full? This is where things get brutal. Your operating system has a last resort mechanism called the OOM Killer. That stands for Out of Memory Killer. And yes, it kills things. On Linux systems, when memory is completely exhausted, the kernel literally scans all running processes, gives each one a badness score based on how much memory it's hogging, and then terminates, kills, the worst offender. Without asking, without warning. Windows handles it slightly differently. It shows you a warning, then starts force closing apps, but the result is the same. Your work disappears, your game crashes, your browser vanishes mid-upload. And if the system can't free up enough memory fast enough, full crash, blue screen of death, kernel panic on Mac or Linux. Your computer basically flips the table and walks out. Now, here's a question you might be wondering. And honestly, it's a great question. Does this damage your computer? Like, physically? Is all this swapping and crashing actually hurting your hardware? Good news. Running out of RAM doesn't fry your CPU or melt your motherboard. But here's the catch. If you have a traditional spinning hard drive, HDD, instead of an SSD, all that constant swapping causes serious wear. HDDs have moving parts, and thrashing them with swap data constantly can shorten their life significantly. SSDs handle it better, but even SSDs have a limited number of write cycles. Heavy swapping will wear them out faster than normal use. So, it's not harmless. So what should you actually do? Number 1, close tabs. I know, revolutionary advice, but each Chrome tab can eat 100 to 500 MB of RAM. 10 tabs, you've already lost a gigabyte. Number 2, check what's eating your RAM. On Windows, open Task Manager, Control plus Shift plus Escape. On Mac, open Activity Monitor. Sort by memory. You'll probably find one rogue app eating half your RAM. Number 3, if you're constantly hitting the limit, it might be time to upgrade. Adding RAM is one of the cheapest and most impactful upgrades you can do, especially on a desktop. Number 4, if you're on a Mac and seeing memory pressure in the red, that's your warning sign. Time to act. And here's the thing. Understanding your RAM isn't just nerdy trivia. It directly changes how you use your computer, what you buy, and how you troubleshoot. So the next time your laptop freezes, you'll know exactly what's happening inside that machine. Your computer is sprinting back and forth to a slow storage room, sweating, just trying to keep up with you. If this gave you that, "Oh, now I get it" moment, hit like, because it genuinely helps other people find this video. And if you want to understand the other part of your computer, subscribe and comment below. See you in the next one.